so big and so nasty in here. So I got a hot tip from a buddy of mine that Cascade was doing well for the perch and the trout. So I loaded up, I got a new boat, got a new Alumacraft from Auburn Outboard Marine, got all the new stuff on it, wanted to try it out. The downside is I don't have anybody to come with me. I'm here by myself, gonna be hosting this whole thing for you guys out there, gonna try something a little different. I'm gonna walk you through the way I dissect this fishery. I've only fished here a couple times. I got some tips from Mike down at the tackle shop, and I'm just gonna kind of talk to you guys as I'm going through my day, as I would normally talk with my co-hosts, my buddies, or whoever I'm fishing with. So I'm gonna start putting some stuff on the boat, get it all dialed, and I'm gonna talk to you guys and show you guys how I'm gonna start to dissect this fishery here. Dropped in here at Cascade, and so today's going to be all about the learning curve, trying to figure out where these fish are. We're going to target perch for the most part today, because this place is famous for big slab perch, like true giants come out of this lake. And if you know anything about yellow perch, you know that this is the place to catch them. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drop back here. I was told that they're between 15 and 25 feet deep, so I'm going to get to that depth. And I'm gonna start setting up my equipment. I'm gonna get the Ulterra connected to the Humminbird all connected to the cannons, and we're gonna try bottom tracking for yellow perch. That's what we're gonna start out doing, so stay tuned. We're gonna get this thing set up and rolling. I'm gonna run a little spinning glow setup with a worm and keep it about 5 feet off the bottom, and just kind of run that thing at about 1.5, 1.7 miles an hour is what I'm gonna try first. That's my first idea going here. Mike told me that some bigger plugs are working, so I've got some of those sitting in as backup, and we'll see what happens. So my thought going into this is I'm gonna look off of these points, these main lake points. There's guys that are fishing down on this side. There's obviously perch there. We saw them off the bat. But I'm gonna go over here, check these points where I found them last time in about 20 feet of water. And once I get in there, I'm just gonna run that bottom track feature with some worms and a spinning glow, just see if we can come up with these perch. And if that works, perfect. If it doesn't, we'll go to the next with plan B. One of the colors that Mike was pointing out at the tackle shop was kind of a fire tiger color. So that's what I'm gonna kind of go. I'm gonna go something bright. I got some chartreuse and some pink on there. I'm gonna start with that. Let's see if we can get a bite. And you can see it's got good flotation. It's got the corkies, a bead, and a little spinning glow. So this will flash just a little bit. It's not super vibrant. It's got black wings on it, but the chartreuse and the pink I think will show up pretty good. And then I'm just gonna run a night crawler right on the back of that. And then the other thing that Mike said was waxworms. So we got some waxworms and we got some night crawlers. Got a couple different options. So basically I just tie a loop in the end of this and from there, we can just go right onto your swivel with the loop. For this setup, I like it really light action. Obviously, even the big perch are not that big. So I'm going with a Guide Select Pro. This is a ultra light to light, 7.5 foot within a Pixar reel. Very simple, but it's got a lot of flexibility, so I can put it on the downrigger, and a lot of play there for those smaller fish. So one of the things that's great about the one boat network, which means you have a Minn Kota, a Humminbird, and a Cannon, is you can run everything from here. They all connect, they all talk to each other. So watch this. So we're at 30 feet. I'm gonna go to my motor setting here. I'm gonna take off my navigation. I'm gonna turn, get us going the right direction here. It's about like that. And now I can set my heading right there. My navigation started. I'm just gonna cruise this shoreline right here while I get ready. Oh, there you go. Got a night crawler. We're about an hour into our day here, and we've been running that first setup, and I've made one change already. I changed the bottom tracking feature to be 2 feet off the bottom instead of 5 feet off the bottom with a 1 foot sensitivity, thinking that maybe with that spin and glow it was floating up a few feet. So I changed that up, made another pass. The Humminbird is showing us that there's fish here, and they're definitely perch. They're in the balls. They're just in the traditional spots that perch are gonna be. It looks good. There's definitely perch. There's a bunch of dudes fishing. I haven't seen one fish caught yet, so I'm gonna try one more technique. I'm gonna try to strip down the spin and glow rig, make it a little bit less intrusive with a night crawler, and make another run through there, and we'll keep you posted. My little black co-host is excited. Oh, all right, let's see what we got here. Feels like a big fish, might be a big trout. Whatever it was, it worked to slow down. We changed colors a little bit, slowed down to 1 mile an hour. It was at like 1.8. Look at that size of that thing. Holy cow. I mean, come on. We're gonna do a little catch, clean, cook for you. I'm gonna throw them in a live well there. We're gonna take a couple of these big ones home, and we're gonna make some fish tacos or just some fish and chips, something, and show you guys the right way to cook some of these yellow perch. We're working along here, and we've been going through a couple things. So the Cannon bottom tracking is key, keeping this in the strike zone. So we're running a worm rig, a little spin and glow rig. Got with the chartreuse and orange. And I went with a 2 foot offset, so the ball is gonna be 2 feet off the bottom all the time. This is floating up a little bit, and I think what the key was that we slowed it down a little bit. So we went to 1 mile an hour, like 0.9 to 1 miles an hour, and we're just keeping that thing right off the bottom. So there you go, let's see if it keeps going. We got the big perch, we're gonna keep that one. And then we got the little one, who's gonna let it go. But that's 2 fish, bottom tracking with the spin and glow rig with a night crawler. So we're working through here, kind of figuring out a few things, and we're utilizing the bottom track. We're doing a 2 foot offset, and the spin glow rigs with a worm on there seems to be doing the trick. He's going in the live well with his buddy. Look at this. good. That's not a bad one, actually. Boom! There we go. Crawdad pattern seems to be doing it. Not a bad little fish. You know, first day, new body of water, and I feel pretty good. It wasn't red hot by any means, but you know, we were successful. We caught 2 really big perch that we're gonna eat tonight, and a handful of smaller ones. And we looked around a bunch during the middle of the day, didn't find much, kind of ended up back where we started, and you know, caught a few more of the small perch. So got some ideas going into tomorrow. I think we're gonna change a few things up. I'm gonna try a couple of like a little bit more finesse patterns with the bottom tracking, and you know, just kind of see what happens. But you know, all in all, pretty good first day, and you know, excited to get on the water tomorrow and you know, put what we learned today into effect tomorrow and see if we can't build on that. Got back here, we got a nice little Airbnb, and I'll just come back here. We're gonna fillet up some of these fish, whip us up some fish tacos. Gonna be awesome. Here's where everything kind of goes down. First thing you want to do, open yourself a beer, get a cocktail, and I'm just gonna let these fish soak in this cold water for a minute. And as I start to prepare all the stuff that's going to go with it. So I'm going to walk you through my ingredient list here. Typically I like to use the McCormick's Baja fish seasoning, but we just didn't have it. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I grabbed like a chipotle, roasted garlic, and a garlic herb and wine. A little bit of sweet garlic will go good with those fish. Now, when I put these tacos together, I keep it pretty simple. Guacamole, some corn, cheese, a little bit of rice, and some sour cream. That's basically all you need to make some great fish tacos. We've got some local Rodriguez yellow corn tortillas here, so those are gonna be a nice little treat for us. And I'm gonna show you here in a minute after I get these, how I get that fish ready. So there you go, we got that. You want to put the cheese on there next. A little bit of guac, a little bit of sour cream, a bit of the cabbage slaw to make us feel better. One of the things I love to do on these tacos is have a little corn in there. See how that marinade is, because I've never had it before. That's quite the treat after a long day of fishing right there. When you were fishing for the perch the last time or whatever, you said they were in front of the golf course too?
Yeah.
It flattens out down there?
It does, and you get a lot of weeds.
That's what I thought. So are they still down in there?
You just take it, and you just trawl right through there. That's also where the bass are going to be, and down at their head, and the perch.
So where I was marking all the perch, they were in, you know, right out from the boat launch and then down, and then, but it was on some sort of structure.
Yeah.
So are those, do the perch, do they get up in those flats too then, by the golf course?
They stay in they love the flats.
Okay. All right, thanks buddy. See ya. All right, let's go fish. So I'm gonna set the Canon downrigger. What I'm gonna do is run the bottom tracking, and this is what worked for us yesterday. But the key for me yesterday seemed to be 2 feet off the bottom. So I'm gonna set this, make sure that this is zeroed. You clip this down to bottom tracking, you hit the over button, but I'm gonna make it, I want it to go to 3 feet, 2 feet on this flat over here. And then I'm gonna send it up to start. Here we go. Deploy, make sure, you wanna make sure that your drag is pretty loose for this. That's why I use a long, like a pretty limber rod, because you can see everything that's going on. So that one's gonna be set. We're watching that one. So one of the things that I wanted to try today is get some trout rods out while we're fishing here. And one of the things about fishing multiple species or multiple setups, you always have to make sure that the speed is right for what you're running. You know, I see a lot of guys make mistakes. They try to run a spoon or a plug on one rod and a flatfish or something on the other. 2 completely different speed profiles. So what I did to stay with the same speed that we're fishing for perch is I put 2 spinning glows down, and I put one on the outside rod, because what it looked like to me is that the trout are all hanging out between 10 and 15 feet deep. So I got a spinning glow on the wing rod, on the side planer, and it's got a little bit of weight, and I think it's fishing about 10 to 12 feet deep. So we're gonna see if we can pick up a trout maybe on that rod, and then maybe perch on the inside rods. You can kind of see here on the map, this is where we were catching them yesterday, right here, right on this inside bend, right where that green channel meets. They were sitting right on the edge. So I kind of figured I'd start down here, cover a little more territory today, but still stay in the same kind of water, follow this green edge all the way back to where we were catching them. These fish that are right in front of the boat launch have been getting pounded every day. So thinking outside the box, you know, you think about perch fishing, everybody's out here jigging. And what I wanted to do is try something a little different, and that is bottom tracking with the Ken and downriggers for these perch. A couple of things that'll do. It'll allow us to cover more area, maybe find some feeders, some good schoolies, some feeders. And then the other thing is too, is just target maybe some of those bigger fish that are moving around. A lot of times you can do this. You can troll, find fish, and then stop and jig on them. Or like we did yesterday, we just trolled all day and just stayed in fish. We've been fishing for about an hour now, and we've got nothing, just dead. And one of the things that happened yesterday is that we got bit pretty quick on some crawdad plug. So I'm gonna switch everything to a crawdad plug and make another run back through here, down through the sweet spot. See if we can get bit. Stay tuned. Yeah. Oh boy. Damn. On the plug. Look at that fish. Look at that. Big old slab perch. There we go. Plug fishing. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Like, we'd been trolling for a little bit there, but we had just gotten to the river channel, the old river channel. As soon as that thing came off of that, where that cliff is, we started marking a bunch of fish on the Humminbird, and then boom, fish on right away. So hopefully that's the start of a good pattern. Only way that you could fish the technique that we're doing up here, that we're doing today, is with bottom tracking feature on your downriggers and good electronics. You can see here, these fish are all sitting on this edge, and you can see it's a steep edge. So if you were trying to run the downriggers by hand and watch what you're doing, you'd be running that ball into the mud all day, getting snagged up. So with the bottom tracking feature on, it's doing the work for you. And I can sit here and I can run this contour. It's a small margin of error here of what you can get away with. But these fish are literally right where it drops off. That's where they're all hanging. The only place we can find fish. Yeah. We've been mostly targeting the perch. You know, we kind of set out to just catch these perch that are here, these big perch, because that's kind of neat. But we're definitely going to take a welcome rainbow trout here. Today has been extremely difficult, and you know what we've figured out here the last couple of days, the lake just turned over, and anytime a lake turns over, it's never good for a little while, at least a week until it gets calmed down. But we've been fishing for about 10 hours today. We've caught, that was number 4, 3 perch, 1 trout in like 10 hours. To see that rod go off and see it start to do something other than just go up and down on the bottom track is pretty exciting. You know, he was just a decent sized little perch, nothing big, but this the Rebel Craw has actually been the kind of the hero for this trip. I think we started out with the bin glow rig slow, but man, they've been digging this Rebel Craw. It's gonna be working. That's a good one. He just came off. No! Oh no, there he is. Oh, it's a big old trout. He just hammered that thing. Oh, oh my God. Woo, what's up, trout? Dang, he just hammered that thing. Oh, look at him jumping. Oh, that is cool. That's one thing about these Kamloops rainbows. They freaking jump and fight. Beautiful rainbow. Oh, see you, buddy. Yes. Well, that was fun. Just a 20-inch rainbow, no big deal. Yeah, she's a tiny. No, get up there. Yeah, get down. Woo, get up there. There we go. Yeah. On the spinner rig again. All right, that's 3 species on the one rig. That's a big bass. Little smallie. Dude, that's smallie. We're just keeping that spinner 2 feet off the bottom and just hammering fish. We got a big rainbow, perch, and now a smallmouth. You know, the beautiful thing about coming to northern Idaho in the fall is just how nice the climate is. The weather, the colors are starting to pop. Yellows, oranges, reds, greens, you know, everything's all mixed in. You know, we're wearing boots and gloves and hoodies in the morning and then shorts and sun gear in the afternoon. I mean, it really is just a wonderful time to be up here, minus the turnover. You know what, it was a great trip. We had fun, I learned a lot. I got to dial in all my new gear. You know, we'll be back.